Wake up. All right. What is the future that we're building? Is it one where humanity thrives in harmony in nature, or is it one of depletion and destruction? We all share this planet, from what we eat to how we interact, the nature we live in, how we shape the world. But today, more than ever, we're faced with the challenge of reconciling human progress with the pressing need to safeguard the environment. This is where sustainability comes in. Today, I want to explore how sustainability in context of farming is crucial for both the future of agriculture and the well-being of humanity. And I want to approach this in a way that encourages open dialogue for you to share with others without bias, but with focus on facts and solutions. My oldest thought of sustainability came from my grandfather. He had 11 kids. He was a sharecropper, built 1 acre garden, sustained 3 jobs. But his oldest saying, even though I never met him, that everybody would say he was used is, you gotta use what you have to get where you have to go. But when you talk about my life and where I come from, I'm from a place called Greenville, Mississippi in the Delta, birthplace of the blues, where those same individuals that was making these songs was working in the fields. Nothing about living in the rural area is just by chance. Everything has to do with sustainability and humanity. Surviving in a small town, you have to make things work. You can't just catch an Uber on an old back dirt road. But leaving there, coming to a big city, my mom, a single parent, most of the things that we had to deal with and we had to live with were sustainable teachings. But growing up, I never knew or I thought about all these stories from the farm, or even to have a last name Peaches will make an impact on my daily life. Even for me making music, can you picture beats and rhymes, talking about being a farmer, being on a tractor? But even the businesses that I run, from being a CEO of a grocery store, or wearing clothes like this, the places I shop. But I got this from my culture, my family culture, from agriculture. But growing up, small little things that we would say and that we would do, like the faith of a mustard seed, even mothers, sisters, and aunts, going to the grocery store, touching food, analyzing it. We never knew that shopping local and in all these places was what we needed at the moment, and it was our life, our culture, our sustainability. But understanding sustainability, sometimes we use this for everything. It's just a key word. But it's just about not just about trees and carbon emissions. It's about economic practices, social equality, the preservation of our cultural heritage. It's a holistic approach that recognizes the interconnectedness of all aspects of life. So sustainability means meeting our needs without compromising the ability of our future generations to meet theirs. It's about finding a balance where human progress doesn't just destroy the environment, but rather works in partnerships with it. For thousands of years, farming has been at the center of civilization. It has provided food, clothing, and fuel. In fact, every aspect of our daily life is tied to the land. Just look at the clothes that we wear, the feeling. It goes right back to our culture, but it goes right back to the land. It's the art of human survival. But we have a huge, huge problem going on in the world. They say by 2030, we have to fill 9 billion people. It's already 2025. We're 5 years away. But we're faced with the challenge of feeding more people with fewer resources. At the same time, we have more people moving into urban areas. So how do we meet this need? We have to look at new ways to grow, new innovative ways to be able to feed these people. Maybe aquaponics, hydroponics, rooftop farming, or even thinking about the things that's going on these days with genetically modified meats. It may not work for you, but these are new ways. But urbanization is something that we really have to deal with. We have to find more non-biased approaches to these solutions. Sustainable farming isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. You might stay in the city, you might stay in a rural area, but we have to involve integrating diverse practices like crop rotation, precision agriculture, technologies to minimize waste and resources and increase productivity. Innovative ways like offering possibilities in these technologies can be implemented responsibly. Let's consider the environment and our social way. Different ways to grow, like agri-hoods. Can you picture growing food right where you stay in your background? Most of the food that we eat and consume are fruits. They have to be transported from large areas, places like our bananas from South America, different lettuces things from California. We have to cut down on our carbon emissions by growing the fruit where we are in things like agri-hoods. But let's be for real. Using regenerative agriculture isn't just the ways and all means. We have to change our principles. We have to not only restore soil health, but increase biodiversity and carbon sequestration. It's about rebuilding the ecosystem that we live in from the ground up. Now, one of the biggest things that we deal with is thinking just because you make more money or less money than the individual, we have to live a certain type of way, that organics is expensive. But as consumers, we have the power to drive change, choosing sustainably sourced products. We have to shop more ethically with brands. These small actions can take a big part collectively to make a big impact. In more marginalized, poor communities, we could be able to use resources like old tires, old wood that one might have from businesses in the fluid communities. And these businesses in the fluid communities, they can hire these individuals to be able to make process. See, sustainability is about building these ecosystems, being efficient, building off each other. Farmers have to find new ways to be able to grow. You can use old PVC pipe and plumbing to be able to grow lettuces or leafy greens. Or you could be able to use aquaponics tanks to be able to find different ways to make protein. But the bottom line is we have to turn to more regenerative agriculture practices to be able to make a bigger way to feed more people. Small things make a big difference, like composting, not just to make fertilizer to be able to feed plants, but also we can reduce our waste daily. It's not something that we just do from time to time. It's our daily actions that really matter. Even from our clothes, instead of buying more and more clothes all the time, what about shopping at vintage shop and reusing them, finding your own style, your own way? We can limit waste that's in the oceans or other countries that have big, massive waste pits of old clothes that we might use from our country. So sustainability sometimes doesn't have anything to do with food. It can do about the clothes that you wear. Now, I know what you're saying. Would you really listen to a guy with swagers on the tractor, with a hat and some overalls on, and rapping songs like "This is the life of a farmer" and the art of agriculture? But one thing that I've learned in working in government, local, city, and state, and also being a business individual is you have to make it work for you, right? Your truth and your culture, your agriculture may be different, but it plays a big part in the next generation. So I'm gonna leave you all with something, because the bottom line here is you may not be a farmer, you may be a scientist, you may be anybody that has nothing to do with food in general, but you have to live on this earth. So this call for action for sustainability is not just for the few, it's for all of us. It's about demonizing the one industry or practice. That's not what it's about. It's about finding solutions that work across the board. Whether you're a small farm holder in Africa, or a farmer in Iowa doing commodity crops, or someone who buys food from a grocery store, we all have a role to play But the bottom line, it's about our health. Another thing is policy. We have the laws of the land. Laws can be from anything from creating agricultural hubs and agricultural districts, or also it could be things like going to our local legislators to be able to find policies and bills that work for us. But government, corporations, and communities need to collaborate on policies that support sustainable farming practices like fair trade, climate smart agriculture. The role of policy is crucial to incentivizing agricultural practices and creating a level playing field for all. How would you feel if you got paid to live sustainably? Would that work? Now, something special happens in the world every 10 years. World leaders from all over the country or these countries get together and they make a list of the sustainable world goals. Now, 4 out of these 17 sustainable world goals would have to do with food. But you also have things on there like water resources, equality for individuals, no poverty. The life topics in these goals, the choices that we make echoes for generations. Sustainability is not an abstract concept. It's necessary and attainable reality. We can build a world where farming nourishes both the land and its people, but it requires commitment, innovation, and cooperation. Stronger together, fresher together. Together we can grow a future that sustains both humanity and Earth. So I'm leaving with you to sow the seed for today, but also plant a tree for the future, a greener, a fairer future, and a more sustainable tomorrow. So I want to invite you all to think critically about the choices you make. Make every day Earth Day, not just for yourself, but for generations that will inherit this planet that we all lived on. Let's choose sustainability not as a trend, but as a fundamental way of life. Thank you all, I appreciate you. But I want to leave you with a quote from my favorite individual, Mr. Frederick Douglass, as he says, "No pain, no progression." Thank you.